Welcome to the final after the flag before we head into the summer break from the not quite so summery Sachsenring. Once again, the weather played a big part in the outcome of the Motogp race, a lot more than I'm sure the riders or fans would have wanted. Now, just in case you hadn't seen it, or just to remind you, so the GP race started with a wet asphalt, but it wasn't raining anymore. So that of course meant that tyres played a massive outcome in the result of the race, but it was actually more the strategy on exactly which tyres to use and how to use them that proved to be the absolute key. We had some very, very different outcomes from some very different kind of strategies. There were those that actually told their teams what to do from track, so actually telling the mechanics on pit wall and their spotters around the track, and those that were being told by the teams what to do, but still making the decisions by themselves. Now, to find out exactly who did what the outcome of the race was, and why they did it, we find out now.
Very good afternoon to you from Germany. Round 9 of the MotoGP World Championship. Marc Marquez in pole.
Rossi got away well too, as did Marc Marquez. Rossi, though, will have the inside line. It's the Italian just getting his nose wiped, though, by Marc Marquez. Marquez, the pole man, leads. Rossi had the inside line, so it's Rossi that leads.
Side by side, Dovizioso leads. Petrucci's good on the brakes. Here he comes.
Yeah, brilliantly up the inside. Petrucci leads the German Grand Prix. Oh, Petrucci!
Petrucci out.
He has crashed out of the lead in the German Grand Prix. Well, Marquez has had an off-track excursion.
Turn 8 for Marc Marquez. That's where he crashed this morning.
Marc Marquez then has come in.
Marquez changed to slick tyres. Are they going to come in?
But if they do now, though, Marquez will lead the race. Because Marquez now is within 20 seconds of the lead.
Oh, Ross is in.
Yeah, they're all getting... Well,
Dovizioso is in. So they're all in. Brilliant strategy by Honda and by Marc Marquez.
Marquez leads this German Grand Prix for the first time.
Side by side, the two British riders as they come into turn 1. Crutchlow is through. This is the battle of Dovizioso now. Dovizioso through. Marc Marquez wins for the 7th successive time here in the Sachsenring.
Now Crutchlow, equaling his best ever Grand Prix result in 2nd place. Dovizioso back on the podium.
There we go, 48-point lead in the championship. He has doubled his championship lead.
I go in. Maybe the first or second rider that I go in, the first rider with the slick, was very dangerous. I take a lot of risk, but was the correct time, no, for try to win the race. And we speak always with the team that for our team the intermedium doesn't exist because you know, it's a big confuse, because how you tell to the team, I want intermedium or I want a slick. When you are on the track, you must to be clever in all these aspects, and with the team we speak before the race and I say, okay, we will go directly from wet to dry.
To be honest, I just took my time and I thought I have to pass one a lap, you know, and one a lap will do, and then I'll get to the front and be in a good position. But obviously I started to catch Valle and Dovi in the end, and I just sat there, but I didn't look my pit board because I thought these guys are going to win or be in the mix. And then I didn't realise that they were calling me in, you know, and obviously Mark had pitted already, but yeah, a good race, you know. I felt great this weekend. Honda have done a great job.
I didn't change the bike in the right moment. 3-4 laps before I did the change, it was the right moment and gave me the possibility to fight for the victory. I'm not happy about that because it's our fault, especially my fault.
I even said before that the intermediate is a waste of time, but because we can't communicate with the guys, it's hard to say. And I said if it's okay, like 8, maybe 10, if it's still looking wet, go for intermediate. And it was, I think, 12 or 11 laps to go, so we was on the borderline as well. So I don't want to blame the team, I don't want to blame myself. It was just a critical time to change the tyre, you know, and Giacomo said it was half a lap from him to put the slicks, you know, and then we were second.
I wanted to come in, but the bike in the box with the slicks didn't start. They couldn't make the bike start, so I had to stay longer out, and unfortunately, when I picked the bike, I also was very slow in the first laps on the slick. I had no feeling.
Big thanks to the team, you know, I should have listened to them on the pit board telling me to come in, but it's just a learning thing for us, you know, with the first real flag to flag for me. So you know, me being young and cocky, I thought, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. We'll be right. But anyway.
Yes, for sure the strategy, if I stop 2 or 3 laps earlier, can be a bit better, can arrive 6 instead of 8. But the problem is that when I restart, I was very slow, and I have no feeling with the bike, and I wasn't strong enough, because anyway Dovi and Kraslo were with me, and we stopped at the same lap, but they are able to arrive on the podium. I had a very bad feeling with the intermediate, but nobody knows if with the slick I can be faster, because maybe it can be worse also.
I entered too late because the board, the team put me in maybe too late, and I just entered when they put me in, and we need to plan a little bit better the strategies.
Well, for Moto3, things were a little bit more straightforward, because it was definitely certain that it was a wet race. It was absolutely pouring down. So as you can imagine, once again, it was Malaysian Khairul Ithampawi who made the headlines with another fantastic performance. Now, from the start, it was actually Enea Bastianini who led, who got the whole shot. And it was actually him, Bo Ben Snyder, the likes of Andrea Locatelli and Hiroki Ono, and John McPhee kind of swapping the lead at the beginning, whilst Pawi made his way up from 20th position on the grid. He then did finally make his way past and had Hiroki Ono in tow, but Ono unfortunately crashing out. Pawi himself had a bit of a scare going into turn number 1, just running off briefly. He was pushing so hard, but he had enough of a margin to remount and take his second win in his rookie season. Rounding up the podium, it was Andrea Locatelli. He did fantastically well to get his first ever podium in the Moto3 class, with Enea Bastianini taking third. Well, Moto2 was a similarly wet affair and also gave us plenty of drama. It was Johan Zarco, he led from the start, but it was Takaki Nakagami who made a fantastic move around the outside of Rins and Zarco to take the lead. Jonas Folger, the local boy, he hadn't started great, he hadn't qualified great, but he was soon up to 4th place, trying to scrap it out with those guys. It was then heartbreak for Nakagami as he crashed out of the race, along with some other high-profile names like the likes of Marcel Schrotter, Sam Lowe's, as well as Alex Marquez. Alex Marquez's teammate Franco Morbidelli, he was having a great race, actually also got up to the front, was leading for a while, but was then also caught out in these conditions. In the meantime, Johan Zarco, he'd managed to re-find a bit of stride that he'd lost, was up at the front with the likes of Alex Rins and Jonas Folger. But Rins, heartbreak again for him, he crashed out, hurting his foot, so it was Zarco versus Folger towards the end. Folger tried a last grasp overtake move in the final corner, couldn't quite make it stick, so Zarco took another win in these treacherous conditions ahead of Jonas Folger, and third place was great to see 2009 125cc champion Julian Simon back up there. If watching that much racing in the wet doesn't make you want to go on a well-deserved holiday in the sun, I don't know what will. But we do hope you do get a bit of a break like our riders and teams will, and that you'll join us in 4 weeks' time at our new MotoGP track in Austria. See you then.